afternoon. It's a pleasure to be with you today. I'm Andrew Hopkins. I am the Global Head of Products for Discover Global Network. Today, I'd like to give you an update and perspective from Discover Global Network on secure remote commerce, SRC, as it's known in the consumer side, click to pay. I talk about the evolution of payments of in-person versus online. This is a global phenomenon and one that many of you are very familiar with. In-person payments have really become seamlessly integrated into the everyday life of consumers around the world. This is especially true during times of pandemic, when consumers are seeking other ways, cleaner ways, digital ways to conduct commerce, replacing physical points of sale. However, a lot of friction still exists in the e-commerce space. There's a lot of confusion on the parts of consumers, multiple options for merchants. The ecosystem is fragmented and cluttered. And so we have proposed and are launching a new feature in conjunction with our partners at EMVCo that aims to simplify that online checkout in a way that is globally interoperable, and then it incorporates a lot of the existing technologies that are already in use so that consumers and merchants can have a better e-commerce experience, a more secure e-commerce experience, and one that offers choice. I'll explain what the secure remote commerce is. At a high level, it's a globally interoperable network wallet solution. It's branded click to pay on the consumer side, and it's integrated into online checkout experiences. It's a simple single button functionality. And one of the main goals of this simplicity is to reduce shopping cart abandonment for merchants. It's a streamlined solution that allows for interoperability of specifications so that merchants can use one spec, and it consolidates the network brands into one solution, allowing for removal of clutter on merchant websites and mobile applications, and reducing customer confusion that research consistently shows decreases cart conversion. Through the pandemic, we've also learned that security is becoming ever more important. It's always been important, but now more than ever, making sure that new e-commerce solutions incorporate higher levels of security by using tokenization and other smart authentication features to ensure that consumers and merchants are able to take advantage of these. Let's talk about the click to pay symbol. The consumers are now learning is a symbol for simple, easy, convenient digital checkout. The SRC click to pay icon is easily recognizable and is becoming prevalent around the world. And consumers know that their payment information is stored in the click to pay wallet after enrollment for faster checkout. It's also stored in a way that is secure because much of the information remains in the wallet and is not distributed to the end merchant, thus reducing the burdens for both for merchants and the security risks for consumers. This is particularly important for small and medium-sized e-commerce merchants, especially ones where consumers may use these merchants infrequently. They may not have a stored card or a profile with that merchant. And so the click to pay functionality gives consumers the confidence to know that they can transact with a click to pay wallet and maintain their confidentiality and security. From a convenience standpoint, consumers also know that they don't need to continuously re-enter their contact information, their payment credentials, or shipping information every time. And this really helps consumers expedite checkout when they're on new sites or as a guest user. For small and medium-sized merchants, it's an ever-increasing challenge to maintain the security that's necessary to prevent fraud online. And so the use of advanced authentication methods in a federated way to verify the cardholder's identity increases the chances that we will be able to provide a positive affirmation of the consumer's identity. And it also ensures that the small and medium-sized merchants are able to take advantage of some of the most modern standards, which they often are not able to do. I'll speak to how SRC is integrated into multiple players in the complex ecosystem of payments. As we've spoken about, merchants get a single interoperable integration, a simplified checkout, and they will see this monetized in the form of lower cart abandonment. We are seeing increasing adoption in the US and indeed around the world, and are working with merchants in many countries to begin to adopt and deploy SRC. From an issuer side, SRC is an important e-commerce tool. It will help issuers protect their market share and allow them to deploy fraud detection and other approval and authorization technologies at scale to small and medium-sized merchants. For the payment service providers, or PSPs and aggregators, this technology will allow them to deploy SRC in a common integration across their merchants, thus reducing the custom work that is required. And for networks, it provides global interoperability. We partner every day with RuPay on interoperability around the world at Discover. And this SRC functionality will enable consumers on networks to transact at merchants across the world that have deployed secure remote commerce. Speak about what Discover Global Network has done. In the SRC space, we've invested in key digital capabilities to help our partners enable SRC. We're part of the interoperable global solution of the networks, and we're partnering with our colleagues in many countries to connect their networks to this technology. It's based on APIs, so it is very scalable using the most modern techniques. We're using digital capabilities to extend the web experience so that networks can control the UX, the user experience. Our tokenization functionality and cryptography has been deployed and upgraded to be able to deploy the tokens into this wallet and enable maximum flexibility. That the tokenization has also been delivered in ways that meet regional needs for data localization, which enables advanced authentication in marketplaces, gives issuers the option to do device authentication, any kind of one-time passcode or other additional authentication screens that they would wish to conduct. Reporting has been increased to be able to provide transaction analytics and web analytics so that issuers and merchants can optimize the shopping cart experience and the card member value. This has all been built at Discover to be ready to scale. There are lots of new and emerging use cases that the SRC technology can facilitate. It's interoperable to be able to connect to partners around the world, different players in the ecosystem, PSPs, merchants, and acquirers. And because it's been built entirely cloud-based, we can easily align it with local regulations and regional needs in each market. I'll take you through our global path. SRC is launched as Click to Pay. We launched with Click to Pay at the time that the other schemes went out with the specifications. We are now operating and enabling merchants in the US. Our international expansion has already begun, and we are speaking with many partners to be able to explore how SRC may be deployed in their markets. And we expect next year to begin to scale this into new partners, new markets, and new I think it's important to note here that SRC, because it is entirely focused on e-commerce, will become a global phenomenon, even if it is not necessarily deployed in every local market. Because it's deployed at a merchant level, merchants in a specific market can integrate it into their shopping carts, and consumers that are coming to their e-commerce websites, their digital stores, will see the SRC functionality and be able to take advantage of it, regardless of where that consumer may be sitting. So US consumers will see it on websites in the UK. Indian consumers would see it on websites in the UAE. So it is a global deployment that will likely be impacting every market, regardless of how quickly it's deployed at the merchants in the local markets. We're seeing increased adoption so far from payment service providers and merchants. Network tokenization is something that is expanding, but it's in different places globally. In the US market, where we first started, the token acceptance is fragmented. We have some merchants who are heavily using that technology and others who are not. And we need to make sure that we are maintaining a good payment experience, a consistent experience, and that the adoption of tokens. We do expect Indian consumers to be able to be coming across SRC, the click to pay functionality, starting next year, particularly if they are using websites at merchants overseas outside of India that would have deployed SRC. So it's important that we coordinate with all of our partners globally to create an experience that is ubiquitous, regardless of device. We're working with all of our partners to protect the market share of our common issuers and ensure that we have a globally interoperable solution with RuPay, as we've done with many other technologies. And as I mentioned earlier, there are always local and global rules that need to be complied with, and our functionality allows and enables this. And we're now beginning to work with partners around the world to understand what those requirements are to meet local legal rules and also enhance the customer experience in each specific marketplace. So thank you for the opportunity to present to you today. I can tell you that Discover is very much in the vanguard in the SRC space. We're beginning now to work with our partners globally, including our partners in India, to discuss this new technology and the way that it is best deployed and integrated with all of the technologies and players in each local ecosystem. I thank you for the partnership that you have with Discover and Discover Global Network through NPCI. I wish you that you will have a productive conference and that all of you and your families remain safe during this challenging time. And I look forward to the opportunity to meet with you again and discuss new ways to collaborate. Thank you.